Hey everyone, it's Daniel here from Infravest. Hope you're all doing well. Wanted to do a quick video on an interesting article. I'll post the link in the description. And it's very interesting. This article talks about, is Germany going to see a very ugly recession? And by the looks of it, by looking at first, without even reading this article or looking into it, it does look like, with all the global and macro factors and geopolitical tensions we're seeing, definitely it looks like Germany is in a very tough situation, especially with energy prices and whatnot, right? We had Biden basically go into their SPRs, the Special Petroleum Reserves, and produce more barrels of oil, about a million, to bring the oil prices down, which has worked successfully. But then now to counter that, you have OPEC Plus cutting production by 2 million plus barrels, which caused oil prices to move up, Brent oil to move up, WTI crude oil to move up, and this doesn't solve the problem with inflation, right? This basically puts more oil to the problem here. Now, Germany and Europe and the UK and whatnot, they're in much of a more difficult scenario situation there because already they're facing high inflation there. They're facing a lot of problems there. And when you look at the cost of electricity there, it has more than doubled for all the households and businesses there, and people are feeling the pinch. So they're feeling the pinch with higher inflation, they're feeling the pinch with higher interest rates, they're feeling the pinch because we have contraction happening in the economy, and on top of that, this war with Russia and Ukraine and slowing down and stopping the energy or the natural gas to Europe, completely closing it off, is just going to make the situation worse off. Now, on top of that, I also talked about in my previous videos about the yield curve, the German 30 to 5-year yield curve. When you look at that and you look at the difference there, we see that the yield curve has inverted. Now, what happens is when the yield curve inverts, it tells you or signals you that a possible recession is coming. It could come in the next 6 months to a year. So whenever that yield curve inverts, whether it's in Germany or in the US or Canada or wherever, right, that's what it signals to traders out there. Now, Germany's yield curve, now Germany is known to be the backbone, the powerhouse of Europe, the strongest one out there. Whenever there's a problem, it's usually Germany, the one that takes Europe into a positive direction, right? But Germany, on the other hand, are facing a lot of issues this time, especially with their yield curve not only inverting, but inverting to deep levels that we have never seen before. And I'm talking about the 30 to 5-year spread. So the last time the Germany's yield curve inverted, it slightly inverted, slightly kissed it and touched it into inverted territory back in 2008. It never inverted before that, but for the very first time, it went below the 2008 inversion and went deep. Now, it went very deep, and that caused a lot of people to panic, and it basically shows a sign that, hey, this time, we compare a lot of crises and crashes to the 2008 Great Financial Crisis. We compare it with that. We're thinking now, this time, a lot of people are thinking that this time could be worse off. Now, with the yield curve inverting, with higher electricity prices, higher inflation, worse off business conditions, it's not looking good for Germany. And to add more problem to the situation, if you take a look at the article that I posted in the description, it talks about a lot of businesses that's been around for a very long time going bankrupt. For example, there was one toilet paper manufacturing company who's been in business for 100 years have now, for the very first time, filed for bankruptcy. And they've been in business for 100 years. And you have them filing for bankruptcy, right? And now that leads to another problem with, okay, they're a huge producer of toilet paper. Last time we saw toilet paper shortages and all of this was back in 2020 because of the COVID and because of the virus, but this time it's for a different reason. And it's for this recession, the pain of inflation, higher prices, higher bills. And the reason why that manufacturing business went out and filed for bankruptcy is because simply they said their cost, the cost of electricity to run the plant, was just moving up way too much, way above their profit, way above their revenue, that caused them to realize that they have to shut down their business because they're not profitable anymore. So think about that, right? A business that has been in, a company that has been in business for 100 years is telling you that the electricity cost, they simply can't handle it. Now, if a business can't do that, a simple business like that that's been in business for 100 years can't manage that problem, think about the other ones out there. And there are other ones, and there already are signs of some of them, and they've come out as well, like a fertilizer company. And we talked about this previously in my older videos, that fertilizer companies are also saying the same thing, saying that, hey, these electricity bills that we're getting, it's going to put us in a worse off situation. It's not going to make the situation better. And you can see a lot of bankruptcy in that scenario. So if fertilizer companies are having a problem there, then guess what? That's going to push up food prices as well. We're going to see that, okay, because we have a lot of these fertilizer companies going bust, we have a low supply of fertilizers now. That's going to push the prices higher. Food is going to be more expensive. And that is going to trickle everywhere else in the markets as well. That's why already today we're seeing food prices move up. So, and a lot more other companies as well and businesses are going to feel the pinch. And on top of that, businesses are feeling the pinch of this and been in business for 100 years. What do you think how consumers are going to feel, right? Back in the day, you may say that, okay, just put on a sweater when weather is too cold, but this time it might be different in the sense that a sweater is not going to work, especially in super cold conditions. And especially if you can't handle to pay the bills of electricity and natural gas and so on, especially if these prices are moving up. And you have to decide now, do I heat up my home? Do I use electricity or do I eat? Right? So three most essential things out there. There are other ones out there as well, but just simply the electricity, the heating that you need in your house, plus food, which is even more important, but you do need these things, but very, very important. Once you have consumers thinking that, what do I choose? Either do I freeze to death or do I eat? Most likely they will probably choose to eat, but it's a very tough situation to be in. It's very tough to think or make that choice, right? So definitely, you're seeing the signs, you're seeing the cracks. We talked about UK as well, their system being in cracks as well. And don't think it's over. This is just a in the UK, I'm talking about. This is just a temporary relief from the Bank of England to help the UK pension funds. Don't think that, it's all over and we're good here. Because if you look at the UK 30-year yields, the gilts, guess what? They're picking back up again. They're picking back up again, and when we saw those yields move up, that's what caused a lot of the problems for these UK pension funds to ask, and the banking sector to ask the Bank of England for help. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below, subscribe, hit the like button, the bell icon, and if you have any questions or comments for the next video, please leave your thoughts below and I'll see you around. All right, good luck everyone. Bye.